Hey, what's going on, everybody? Y'all know what time it is. We have a tech testimony. He went from being a project manager to cybersecurity, a career in the cybersecurity space. Now, a lot of people don't realize how complicated that is. I know most people, a lot of people are trying to get in project management. And project management, though it is a good field to get into, pays very well. As we talk about, it's not as in demand as cybersecurity careers. It doesn't have. Well, I'm not going to speak about the pay because you can make a lot of money in project management, especially if you
Mhm.
move on to program management. So it does pay well. Let's back up from there. But it's not as in high demand, and it doesn't have the career security that a role like cybersecurity has. So earlier this year, for those of y'all that missed it, I did a top 5 tech industries to get into, or sub industries in tech, because cybersecurity isn't the name of a job; it's the name of a sub industry in tech that comprises of many different roles in the tech industry. And cybersecurity is one of the hottest, most in demand, but also has some of the greatest security ever. I'm going to allow our guests to talk about that. Babalola, I said it right the first time when I said
Yeah.
it. I said it right again.
Yes, you said it right.
Cool. You know what it was? It was one of the things where you in your head and you like, don't mess it up. Anyway, so he did a tech boot camp. Now, the thing that's unique about the program he did, literally the instructor of the boot camp has been in cybersecurity for a little over 20 years. I've never interviewed someone, let alone a founder of a program that's been in the industry or cybersecurity that long. So just she has a wealth of knowledge. Eventually, I'm going to interview her after I interview a few other of her alumni. But today, the main star of today is the guest that we all have here. So make sure y'all coming in hot with y'all's questions. That being said, we about to get started real quick for everybody. They have a free 2 day workshop going on, a cybersecurity workshop. So for those of y'all that you're interested or you're curious about cybersecurity and you're like, hey, let me kind of get some training, see if it's actually a good fit for me, I suggest you doing the free workshop. For those of y'all that are on YouTube and LinkedIn, click below and you'll see the description below the video, and the link is there for you to do the free workshop to be able to sign up for that. For those of y'all that are on Instagram, y'all know we always got something for you to comment. For y'all, those of y'all that are on Instagram, all you need to do is comment the word security, specifically on Instagram. On YouTube, LinkedIn, if I see anybody on YouTube, LinkedIn comments in security, I'm gonna call y'all out. I'm say y'all ain't following instructions. On Instagram, though, y'all can just comment security, so that way you can get access to the workshop, to the free workshop. Let me be specific. You can get access to that in your DMs. That being said, again, make sure y'all are coming hot and ready with y'all's questions, because as soon as we are done having a conversation with him, we're going to switch over to y'all's questions. So, that being said, what's up, Michael Eson? Hopefully, you see it playing for you now. All right. So that being said, y'all, let's get rocking and rolling. Last thing I'll say, we got we got our tech event coming up this Saturday in Atlanta. If you don't have access to that, same thing. Those of y'all on YouTube, LinkedIn, click the description down below. You'll see the link to the upcoming tech event. Our last one sold out literally 2 days before. For those of y'all that are on Instagram, all you need to do is comment tech event, and you'll get the link in your DMs to attend the event. It's going to be a huge money making opportunity for everybody this Saturday, but y'all find out when y'all get there. That being said, Babalola, thank you so much for being on here, for taking time out of your evening to come on here and tell people your story, your testimony, to help more people get in the cybersecurity industry. Really appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Cypress. I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Happy to have you. Happy to have you. Hey, good stuff. So look, let's go ahead and get into it. So just like the title says, you went from being a project manager to cybersecurity, getting in the cybersecurity industry. Would love to know. So what exactly do you do in cybersecurity? And roughly, you don't have to speak specifically about yourself, but roughly what is the range of someone starting out in that space versus the highest career earning potential as an individual scales up in that specific space of cybersecurity?
Well, there's a lot you do in cybersecurity, and you could either be on the compliance side of it, which is, you know, building controls, reviewing policies, or be on the IT audit side of it too, which also could be, you being an assurance, helping companies provide assurance that things are going on as they should be, looking through their processes and how safe they are doing things, and how things are being done. So, and from the beginning, sorry, depending on where you are at in the United States, it runs into three figures. And, I would say the sky is your limit at some point, as you rise and do more stuff, build yourself and keep going, getting higher. I mean, you could make to the tune of, I don't want to say, but I mean 300, 400. I mean, I've seen friends make that. So I mean, it's that's where people get up to. So I mean, and I'll what I tell people is don't look at the entry level amount that you're being paid, wage, which probably could be in the upper like 100 or 120,000, starting with that. But know that, in some months after getting some experience and, moving up the ladder, you probably will earn more.
Hopefully, this makes the audio sound a little bit better
Oh,
for people
yes.
as well. Y'all let me know on YouTube, LinkedIn. Those of y'all that are tuning in, let me know in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And please also let us know what role in tech you're interested in doing. If you're interested in cybersecurity, if it's something that you've been curious about, let us know in the chat. We want to hear from y'all. Also, make sure y'all have y'all's questions ready. And make sure y'all are posting y'all's questions so that way, once we switch over, we're able to get to your questions and knock them out. So you mentioned, okay, so you mentioned two of the different sides of cybersecurity, the risk and compliance side, but then you also had mentioned one other role. What was the other role or other department?
Oh, the IT audit, and they're different sides of cyber. I mean, they could be,
Yeah,
the blue team. I mean, if you're talking about the operation side of it, that
yeah,
side is also there. Which I mean, if you're really really technical and you want to get into that side, it's also very great potential. But you just gotta choose the area in which you feel is your strongest hold and hold on to that and work with that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, y'all. So many different roles in the cybersecurity space that a lot of people are unaware of. So it's definitely something to tap into. So yeah, you mentioned that some of the highest salaries that some of your friends and colleagues are making is in the 300, $400,000 range, which definitely I know some people that are here that sounds like unbelievable, but that is definitely a thing that happens in the industry. I mean, y'all see me interview people that are in cybersecurity that are making close to those numbers as well. But I always love to have other guests on that are completely new, who you just kind of ask them fresh what numbers have they heard of, and they're able to kind of confirm a lot of the numbers that we've heard about. So again, cybersecurity, one of the highest paying industries in tech, one of the industries that has some of the most amount of roles, but then most importantly is has some of the most high demand and has some of the greatest, if not the greatest, job security in the industry. Because, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. For now, let's check out a couple comments in the chat, and then we're going to continue on with his story. So, I see somebody says from Instagram, Baltimore, Maryland. She's an IT auditor for the federal government. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Um, what else? What else? Valerie says, hello, tuning in from Hamilton, Canada. Interested in hearing about entry level cybersecurity roles. All right. Okay, someone just enrolled in the cybersecurity program. That's dope. And classes start today. I love to start my cybersecurity career, but I'm from Nigeria. Hey, he's from Nigeria as well. So yeah, I got you a Nigerian
Okay.
family here. Okay, cool. Yeah. Is there a way to get started for free? A course certs? So quick answer, yes. They actually have free workshops to get you a foundational knowledge for free. Uh, yeah, so that's what I would say. Also, the program, and I'll allow him to talk about this more later. The program I forget what the actual term is, but basically you do get your certifications through the program as well, that they are approved. There are a lot of programs and boot camps that are out here, a lot of cybersecurity ones where you can do it, but they're not, the term isn't certified, but they're not like a partner with certain certification platforms the way that the program he did is. And so, which means that the program is recommended, it's recognized as being highly efficient by certain organizations in the cybersecurity space. So again, so this isn't like some rinky-dink cybersecurity program. This is something that is incredibly robust. But that being said, let's get back to Babalola's story. So you're a project manager. Can you tell people? Because some people that are here, some people are like, "Yo, I'm trying to get in project management." What? Why would you? Why would he want to switch from project management to cybersecurity? So I'm so happy y'all asked that question. So I'll relay y'all's question to him. So yeah.
And
So jokes aside, what made you go from being a project manager? Like, what was going on in your life? You're like, "Yo, I need to switch over from project management to the cybersecurity space."
a lot of things. And I like that you said that project management is a great field. Especially IT project management, you make good money with that. You manage people, you manage projects, you manage all this technical developers majority of the time. But the most important thing I started to see was when it comes to layoff, project managers are the first to go. One, because you're not technically inclined. There are other subject matter experts that they do need. You make good money and everything. So at some point, I started to think about, I wanted to be an SME doing something specifically so that they will recognize me more as a voice rather than managing all the subject matter experts and getting a project done. Well, I can work with projects, I could get things to the end, but I wanted to be more in an area, focused on an area and understand more about that area. And that was what made me make the switch. Started to look for something which was not too technical, but was I could apply some knowledge and understanding and I could grow within. And that was why I started to look more into cybersecurity as a whole. And when I started to do that, I wanted something that will not, because there were a lot of boot camps. Some I just didn't get anything out of it. I'd done a lot of certifications too, but there was a disconnect between the certifications and the actual getting a job. I mean,
Yes.
I started to apply, and the questions they were asking me were way different from what I did in an exam. And I was like, okay, there must be something missing. So I started to look for some kind of on the job kind of training. And a lot of people wouldn't want to take a risk to hire you to learn. Some will, but not all. And with my experience, I wasn't ready to, um, experience I had already, I wasn't ready to go as an entry level. I wanted to continue to grow. So I decided to start looking. I looked on Udemy and I found an IT audit training by Peju. And so I decided to enroll in that and just see what it was like. So I bought that course for $10. I mean, Udemy courses are cheap. So you can start with that. So I just like the way she kind of, explained things, but it wasn't enough. She just gave a little piece, which was not going to get me anywhere. Definitely.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm sorry. Let me stop real quick because I just realized something. You just reminded me of something. So first, I want to highlight something you said because I really want people to hear that because I even see a few people in the comments saying that they're getting certifications, and I say all the time, y'all are hearing it here first from someone who's in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
I say this often. Getting certifications is not going to get you a job. Certifications
No.
are good. They're good complements. They're good supplementary stuff. They're valuable. Many times they are necessary to have, but they are not the thing that will get you the job. And he just mentioned how he got the certifications. He did that stuff, and he was in the interview, didn't even understand a lot of things they were asking him. And so again, y'all, please don't. And I get the notion. Sometimes we don't want to spend money because especially if you don't have a lot of money, you're thinking like, okay, well, maybe I could just do this and I could do that. I could pay for this, pay for that. And it's like, or something that's really small. And the thing is, like, it's possible to get in the industry doing that stuff, but it's like you're going to be doing that stuff for years. Like, it's going to take you a
Hmm.
long time of you collecting stuff.
Yeah.
So I say this to you all the time. If you have all the time in the world and you're fine spending a lot of time, if you find spend a lot of time, then go ahead and do it that way. But if your goal is to get in sooner, stop playing around. And literally what I did, I tried to get in tech for an entire year, couldn't even get an interview. And I was like, let me stop playing. I'm going to do a boot
Yeah.
camp, whatever. And then y'all know the story. A couple months later, I got in the industry. I'm after doing the program. So, but the next thing I want to highlight about what he said was how he mentioned how he did a $10 Udemy course. And he was saying, and he's starting to touch on how he was getting value from it. I'm going to let him finish. But I want to highlight is that the same Udemy course that he started doing, where he was getting value from it, the creator of that Udemy course is the actual founder. She's the founder of your IT academy,
Mhm.
which is the actual boot camp that we're
Yeah.
discussing. So I just want to highlight that. So just to kind of show y'all how he was introduced to the instructor,
Hmm.
he wasn't introduced because somebody pitched a boot camp. He wasn't introduced because it was
Yeah.
literally he went on Udemy, found her, and I'm going to allow him to tell the rest of the story. So I just want to give people context as to who she was. So you
Yeah.
went on Udemy, you found her. So yeah, can you talk about, I guess, some of the value you were getting and how did that lead to you doing your IT academy?
Yes, so she explained IT audit really in very, very simple words and how to test controls. And I was like, if someone can do this, I've been to other boot camps. It's not that these people were not intelligent, but they just didn't know how to teach. They just didn't know how to administer that knowledge to others. But from her own little course on Udemy, which for some reason she discontinued after that. She had explained a lot in that, and I got a lot of value. So I went to her website and kind of left my email there if she was ever going to teach a class. I didn't even know that she would teach a class or have a program like this. So I think a couple of months later, I'd gotten a request, a kind of a flyer thing in my email saying, there's going to be a workshop like this. So I signed up for the workshop, and well, I was already sold by the Udemy. I knew I was going to take a class anyway, but I was even more sold after the 2 day. I think it was a 2 day workshop that. So I just signed up for the program. It was not that cheap, but it wasn't too expensive either for my, I mean, I could afford it. And I was like, I could have made some investment to my future if I want to grow. Um, Free is always good. Don't get me wrong. But at some
Mhm.
point, you got to make some sacrifice to get better. It's not always going to come free. So I decided to take a program. And one thing I liked about the program itself was it was a self-paced, and we had at least one live class every week, which we could bring questions. I was very busy during the day, so I could study at night, get all the information I needed, understand it, replay those classes, and on the day for the live class, I could actually go in there and ask questions, and we could talk more. Another thing I did like about it, there was an online platform that at any point, any time of the day, you could post any question there, and Pedro, yeah, it was just Pedro then. She would respond almost immediately, and that was very good. It was helping me keep up. And I finished that, and I was like, what next? So I kind of put it on LinkedIn, and one of the big four reached out to me. And I said, at that point, I was like, this is too early. Do I really want to do this? And it was for a senior consultant IT audit role. So I decided to take that. I went for the interview. The interview was it was pretty much almost everything because she gave in the classes in the course itself. There was a lot of hands on how to test controls, how everything I needed to know, to start. It was easier for me to understand. So I decided to do the interview for that. What's it called, for one of the big four. Um, I had an interview in the morning with the senior manager, and the afternoon with a I think with the partner. And by 5 o'clock, I was offered the position. I mean, yeah, it
Wow.
was it was it was like that. I mean, big four. I mean, having a chance to work for one of the big four, it was. I just felt it was one of the greatest things then. And not only that, when I started in the big four, everyone would have a fear because we've not had that experience, working IT audit before. But coming to start work, I mean, testing controls, when we're sent to clients and stuff, testing controls and stuff became easy because we'd learned everything in the program. I mean, it was
Yeah.
easy. And people that had masters and stuff that were just IT analysts, they were coming to me to ask me how to do things. I was reviewing their work papers, helping them out with that. And it was easier to deal with that, dealing with the client, because the good thing about the big four is you have multiple experience with different clients. They're not just going to send you to one client. So as you're
Mhm.
being rolled off one contract, you're being rolled onto another one. So you're seeing different industries as things. I mean, messy as it could be, and you're helping them navigate through it. So you gain a
Yeah.
lot of experience from there. So that was where I started to, and I eventually moved into compliance. But at some point, I decided that, I mean, if I could do it, anyone else could do it. So I reached out to Pedro again that I wanted to give back to the program just to, to coach and to be part of it. And since then, I've been part of the program, and it's been there. And, I work as in compliance more now, more than which, it's more of reviewing policies, creating policies, and also creating controls around vulnerabilities. So, and what I tell people is, an IT audit, either of the field, if you go into any of those, it's always needed. Security is going nowhere. Cybersecurity is going nowhere. We're being faced
Yeah.
by a lot of vulnerabilities every day, and it's always going to be, how do we mitigate it? It's going to be our
Hmm.
job. And like I say, there are always free trainings, there are certifications, which I tell people, certifications are not bad. They're very good
Yeah.
because it will set you apart when people start looking at you when you eventually get that job. But don't focus and be a student all your life writing certifications. And another secret is your job is going to pay for all those certifications anyway when you start a job.
Yes.
So why not get a training, start a job, and have them pay for all that? Which I regret
Yes.
now because I'd gotten all my certifications before I started work. And I have almost $5,000 every year set aside to pay for my certifications. And I don't
Yeah.
use that because I
You
got
have all of
everything.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I,
Yeah.
I kind of left that money on the table now, which I could have enjoyed, and kept my money then. But hey, I didn't know. So
Yeah.
you could learn from my own mistakes and be a better
Yes.
person at that. And there are free certifications out there that could just get you started. ISC Squared has been generous enough for the last 2 years to offer a free certification called Certificate in Cybersecurity. It's free. You could have that on there. You could be a member of ISC Square. It's one of the highly sought certification. They are the ones that um, they conduct CISSP. So you could do that. But would that get you a job? Probably not. I mean, you have to do a lot of work taking hands-on training on the job that kind of will give you what the job would look like. The things that you'll get on the job will be the thing that will get you a job, because interviews,
Yes.
people will not be asking about regulations or policies. They will be asking about, how did you test for logical control? Tell us how you've handled change management. Those are the things they're going to ask you in interview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's so incredibly valuable. So happy y'all are able to hear this from somebody in the industry, someone who did all the certifications. So, like he mentioned, the company he's at now, he has a $5,000 annual stipend, education stipend, which is pretty standard. Most tech companies offer between a $5,000 to $15,000 education stipend. You can use that to go sometimes to tech conferences if they
Hmm.
feel that it's in line with your education or what you're supposed to be learning to help you better at your job. You use it for certifications and a variety of other things. But in his case, he's telling y'all learn from him. He did what a lot of y'all are doing, where he did all of his certifications and then he did the program, but he realized he could have just did the program and he got his certifications later
Yeah.
and saved that money on those certifications.
Yep.
So yeah, so super good. Super happy y'all are able to hear from this. Somebody in the comments on YouTube, so one thing I want y'all to be careful about is whenever people are posting comments and you on in the comment section, if they're trying to educate y'all, be very careful. Sometimes it'll be people popping up that are trying to teach some stuff and they don't know what they're talking about, or they're sophomoric, like they know a little bit, but they don't know enough, so they're still like wrong on some things. So that being said, I see a couple people saying cybersecurity, you have to know how to code. That's not exactly true. It
No.
depends on your role in cybersecurity. Not
Cybersecurity.
every role in cybersecurity requires coding. So again, that's what we talk about. Like, it's important for us to know the difference. There's a variety of different roles in the cybersecurity space. Now, again, it's valuable to learn how to code, even in cybersecurity, but is it necessary? No, it's not. Now, you can be technical. People confuse being technical with meaning you know how to code. You can be technical without knowing how to code. And then you can know how to code, but not know how to do a bunch of other technical things in the industry as well.
Mhm.
So again, y'all want to make sure that y'all understand kind of the differences when it comes to that stuff. So all right, so we're going to address a couple comments. They were going to keep it pushing. For those of y'all that are tuning in late, just to give y'all a heads up, he did a cybersecurity program. It's called Your IT Academy. The founder of the program, she has been in tech for a little over 20 years, specifically in cybersecurity for a little over 20 years, and is a wealth of knowledge. Still working in the industry. Interestingly enough, the reason why she started her program, it wasn't like a lot of other people right now. It's becoming very popular. There are people that are in tech where they're like, "Oh, I'm educated. I could start a boot camp, and kind of, help people, but also make money on the side." Nothing's wrong with that. But she was an entirely different route. She just wanted to give out some really like just free, low cost education, and she did it on Udemy. And I spoke to her privately about this. What happened was there were people in the industry that were coming to her. There were people coming to her saying, "Yo, your knowledge is so vast, so incredible. You need to like create a course or a program. Like you need to like give out more information." And so eventually it took her some time, and she finally decided to do it. He is one of the alumni that I'm going to be interviewing. I'm scheduled to interview roughly 3 or 4 of the alumni from the bootcamp that are now working in tech. So understand they have a lot of people that her program has helped out. The program is approved when it comes to you getting certain certifications, certain certifications, certain education. It is recognized and respected in the industry. And so, which is something that's incredibly valuable for those of y'all that do the program. And just like he did, how he ended up doing the program, he did a two-day workshop. They currently have a 2-day free cybersecurity workshop going on right now. I should have mentioned this earlier. The workshop it literally starts in 2 days. So make sure this isn't, as far as I know, it isn't something you can rewatch. It's a workshop you need to tune into. So again, it's a completely free workshop, foundational for cybersecurity. So make sure those of y'all on LinkedIn, YouTube, click the drop down to the description below, and you'll see the link for the free workshop there. So that way you can register. For those of y'all that are on Instagram, you just need to comment the word security. Comment the word security, and then the automation is going to do what the automations do and send you the DM that has the information for the program. Again, y'all, cybersecurity is phenomenal because it is. I did a video a few months ago about the top 5 best industries in tech for 2025. And cybersecurity is up there is one of the top industries in tech to get in, because not only does it pay exceptionally well, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. I have a friend in cybersecurity because of his role, but also because of the equity of his company. He's going to be a millionaire this year. He's doing about 800, 900,000 right now. It's hovering between, but his portfolio is going to have him at a little over $1 million by the end of this year. He's still in his 20s, y'all. He's still in his 20s. So understand this industry, especially when you're maneuvering with certain companies, the opportunities are mind-blowing, honestly mind-blowing. That same colleague of mine and others have gotten sign-on bonuses of $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. And so it's really huge when we talk about cybersecurity. So it pays really well. It's in really high demand. And also it has, in this day and age, what matters most is the career security, because we all know with AI, there are certain roles in tech that are getting replaced. There are certain roles in the world that are getting replaced in general. Certain roles that are where there's a lot of hiring freezes. With cybersecurity, that's very rare that happens. If anything, it's an increase because of everything with AI, because it creates more vulnerabilities. It creates more risk, more possibilities of getting hacked. So these companies need to have the security to protect things. And AI is only going to create more vulnerabilities. It's never going to remove vulnerabilities. It's only going to create more. So it's an incredible industry. The only thing about cybersecurity that I would say is that it is competitive. And that's why it's important. That's why, like he mentioned, it's not something you just like, okay, let me like watch a YouTube video, or let me see if I could just get a recommendation, or let me see if, I could just do 1 or 2 certifications. Because understand, if that's all you're doing, why are they going to pick you over someone like him or someone else who's done a robust program, who has experience that they got through the program? They're able to speak to certain things. So that being said, I want to ask you this, and then we'll prepare to transition over to questions.
Okay.
So you mentioned how before you did your IT Academy boot camp, before you did that, you had gotten a bunch of certifications, and in the interviews, you were really struggling with a lot of questions they were asking you, things that were going above your head. But then on the flip side, you mentioned how you did the boot camp, and afterwards you did an interview, and it sounds like within that day you got an offer. So can you talk about what was the difference? So if you could speak to, okay, Babalola, who just had a lot of certifications but wasn't getting offers, versus Babalola who did the boot camp and you got a same day offer. Can you speak about what happened differently in the first set of interviews when you were just operating off knowledge from certifications, which are valuable, versus when you got the role from after finishing the boot camp?
So in those interviews, initially when they would ask me how do I test, for some controls, it was pretty, I could give them a book definition of it, say all that, and they would definitely know that he's not put his hands on testing this control. This is all from, knowledge. He's good, he can read, but we need someone who has actually had some experience testing these things, and knowing what the outcome could be either way. So those were the things that the training actually went through in details. We did a couple of, there was a lot of examples of how to test different controls. So it was easier for me to approach those interviews at that point. It was easier for me to explain, to give them examples, to walk them through. And, they knew that, okay, I know my stuff. He could navigate through all this. Yes, that was one thing that was a big difference for me with certification, that okay, with him even having certifications, he knows this stuff, he can actually deal with it.
Yeah, it matters so much. You know what's interesting? People talk all the time, and let me know in the chat if y'all have ever seen this, where a company, even for entry level roles, they'll want you to have experience. And people are like, how am I supposed to have experience if I ain't never had the job? But that's the case.
Yeah.
A quality boot camping program like what he did, it gives you the experience.
Experience.
There's a difference between having a job doing that thing versus having experience. You can have experience without having a job.
Yes.
So again, that's the benefit of a quality program. They make sure you get that hands-on experience to where in the interview, and like he mentioned, recruiters know they can tell it's literally their job to listen to people all day to cipher through who's BSing or not. It's like y'all know, like when you went on a lot of dates, you dated some toxic people, some good people. You can tell when someone is you can tell the difference between a person who knows how to say all the right things
Hmm.
versus a person who actually is the right kind of person versus a person that's honest. It's like,
Hmm.
y'all know y'all have y'all ever been on a date with somebody and let's say they've always been toxic, but now they're turning over a new leaf. All of a sudden, they want to be their ways have changed, and they want to be different. You're the first person they want to treat right. When you ask them certain questions, they can give you good answers, but you can tell when they're just speaking from their head, but they've never done it before. They've never treated a person good. They're just telling you off of, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this,
Hmm.
versus when you are on a date with a person where the majority of their relationships they are just a quality person. They have the experience of being a quality person. That's just who they are. They're not changing into a quality person. They have experience doing that. And you can tell it's a night and day difference. It doesn't sound like they're quoting things or they're saying stuff that's a quote from Instagram or from a
Hmm.
song or from a movie. They're like speaking from the essence of who they are. You can feel that. Likewise, in the case of recruiters, night and day recruiters, not night and day, but all day recruiters are basically they're having multiple dates every day
Hmm.
with individuals. They have multiple dates with y'all. That's why a lot of y'all would get an interview and you're like, man, why not get the job? It's because even though you said the right things, the recruiter knows the difference between the person who can say the right things versus the person who actually has experience doing that. And that is one of the hugest differences between a boot camp, honestly, many times even college. Excuse me, that's the difference between boot camp versus college or certifications. where you get a lot of that head knowledge but very little practical application. So, and again, y'all heard it here first from someone who's experienced both. And so now you've been in the industry now for a couple years after doing the program.
Yeah.
Have you moved around? Like, I guess, what has your experience been like? Because again, you were in project management. What has your experience been like in cybersecurity? What are some of the things that you think are what are some of the experiences or the benefits that you didn't even know you were going to have before you transitioned over?
Well, the freedom of learning new things, wanting to be part of a team that understands, that you bring more quality to the table, and there's always time to, nobody's, I mean, there are deadlines, but you have ample time to get work done, and you're not. I mean, it's just, I'll say it's easier. I mean, you have to do the work, but it's easier
Yeah.
to. I mean, you're thinking, you're actually applying what you've learned, and you're just part of solving, bringing more solutions to the issue there. Helping them solve issues that they never think will go away. Being a
Mhm.
voice there. Yes.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Phenomenal. All right, we're gonna get to a couple of these comments because y'all are going in, and we love it. We love it. Okay, cool. Mm, let's see what y'all are talking about. I love cybersecurity. Well done. All right, so someone asked, Rome asked the question. He said, jobs today ask for 20 rounds of interview. It's a slight exaggeration, but no, that's funny though. Jobs today ask for 20 rounds of interviews. How are y'all getting these one and done interviews? So I'm curious about like, how did you get a
So
one and done interview?
most if you're starting off with a consulting firm, one of the big four, it's typically an average of 2 to 3 interviews. It won't be, I mean, I would say to average of two. You'll meet with the manager, and if they want you to proceed forward, it will be with the um, partner who will seal it, eh, which usually is not a technical interview. It's usually just probably getting to know you and feeling that if you will be a great member of their team, at the end of the day. But I mean, even if it's a 20, my own thing is, the longer the interview goes, I don't like it, but at times that means they're still looking at you. I mean,
Hmm.
don't feel it's the end of the road. I mean, some interviews you'll get one or two, and majority of the time, cyber is easy. They probably will, one or two will. I mean, I've seen a lot of interview that is just one and you're hired. But even if it gets to that, it might be the company's policy to go through that, which is just meeting different, they just want to feel you throughout all that, managers, going through all managers and stuff, which is just for them just to know you more. And I just don't feel it's a bad thing. I mean, it takes time at times, but don't necessarily feel it's something that you should see as a negative thing. But that means they're still looking at you. They want you to get to the final, because you got to tell them what sets you apart from other. It's a competitive field, and it's getting more competitive each day. There's a lot of jobs, don't get me wrong, while at the same time they want to know that they're getting the right person for the position out of all
Hmm.
this who's applied. So you can't really blame them.
Yeah, you really can. Uh, Something else to add to it on top of that is some companies like some companies, the reason why they have so many different interviews is really not even the company policy. A lot of times, it's the either the HR department or the
Mhm.
hiring team decides to do that. And the reason why they decide to do it, they do that so they could spread out the blame. Basically, if they hire the wrong person, so they hire the wrong person at these companies a lot of times. And the thing is, if let's say it's one person interviewing you and they hire you, and let's say you don't crush it and kill it, that's going to be 100% on them.
Mhm.
So a lot of times they have these different rounds of interviews. It's a way for them to spread out the blame. So it's like collectively the group decided on the person. It doesn't go to just one person. So
Yeah.
that's one thing. The other thing, in some instances, The hiring manager does, in some instances, the hiring manager does have vetoing rights where they could just say, yo, I want this person. Like, forget all of it, forget the rounds of interviews. We're going to go ahead and hire this person. Now, that happens when they are exceptionally confident about you. Now, usually it's a combination. It's a combination of them really needing the role filled. Like, it's like they need that role filled yesterday.
Mm.
But then two, you give them such confidence that you're that person. Many times they can go ahead and give you the offer. They'll just let everybody else know, hey, yep, I interviewed the person. Sometimes they'll just send the video over to the rest of the team so they can see it as well. And so usually that's the case. That's what happens. And again, you know, you do a quality program, especially the program helps you when it comes to like knowing how to answer certain questions.
Yeah.
That you're going to crush it and kill it. You're going to crush it and kill it. So
Yeah. And
that's a
lately,
immense.
yeah, lately we've been I've been seeing a lot of people in panel interviews. You'll just have five, six people interview you at the same time and ask you a question, and that will be it. And those are you should expect that too. But the key thing is to be prepared. Know what you need to do. Know how to tackle the. If you can answer the questions, there shouldn't be anything to fear.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredibly true. That's good. That's good. All right, what else y'all talking about? Oh, cool. So someone said, I know he said the course is self-paced. Would he mind sharing how long the course took to complete? So how long did it take you to complete the cybersecurity program you did?
So that's a good question. It really depends. If the good thing is it's going to be open to you, it's self-paced. The um i, I think averagely it takes people about I would say about 8 weeks, but I've seen people finish it in 2 3 weeks. Some people are desperate, they want to get in,
Wow.
they want to get things done fast, and we want to get through this and just start applying and start getting responses. And so it depends on the time people have, but the thing is that it's structured that I think is about 8 weeks. Yeah, and I'm sure we will talk more about that. And we'll talk more about that in the what's it called, in the book, the workshop coming up too. But the thing about it is, it's structured that there's a live class every week. But you could go ahead of the live class and you still bring your questions over if you've gone through everything you need to go through. Yeah.
Good stuff. That's an amazing time frame, y'all. Amazing time frame. Something that could be completed within roughly 1 to 2 months or a little bit less than that if you move briskly through it. I'm gonna be very real with y'all. There are like a program that's as robust as this, where the instructor, where she's been in cybersecurity for over 20 years, highly decorated, highly respected. It is incredibly rare for there to be a program with an instructor that's as decorated with the knowledge that's as valuable that is less than 6 months. Like even 6 months, like I'm gonna be real with y'all. If y'all look up the average time frame for a cybersecurity boot camp, the average time of a cybersecurity boot camp is 6 months to a year. And so we talk about a program that could be finished in several weeks, but then it maintains such a high level of quality that someone like himself, where he had gotten a bunch of certifications, did a lot of things, and wasn't getting offers, wasn't really able to answer a lot of questions in the interviews. So he does the program, and then it just transforms it to where he does an interview and gets the offer same day. That's crazy. Like that's amazing, amazing. And y'all know, as proud as I am to be a black man, as much as I love helping my people, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Y'all know I usually don't like champion things saying like, oh wow, it's so great this person's black, but it is beautiful to say, man, it's a black woman who created this program, and that's something beautiful. That's something worth celebrating, and really just definitely clapping up for her. Eventually, I'm going to interview her in the future as well. But for now, I'm going to interview a few different alumni so y'all can hear it from other people giving their testimonies first. The program, Malika asked, what's the program called? So the program is called Your IT Academy. It's called Your IT Academy. And yeah, for those of y'all that want to do the free 2 day workshop, they have a free 2 day workshop that's coming up literally in 2 days. So click the link below. Those of y'all on YouTube and LinkedIn, click the link in the description below. you'll see the link that's there for you to sign up for the workshop.
So it's yourITcareer.com academy, yeah. Your IT Career Academy.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's the website. But for those of y'all that need the link directly to the workshop, it's down in the description below. For those of y'all on Instagram, just comment security and you'll get the automation. If the automation doesn't work out and you don't get the DM from the Tech is the New Black Instagram page, just let us know and we'll make sure that you get the link. I'll make sure the team make sure that you get the link to the program. Jocelyn says, I came from the same program. I have been sponsored a clearance TS at that. We helping women set up CCTVS, put RJ45Ss together, teaching them how to set up internet and much more. I don't know what none of those acronyms mean, but they sound fancy because y'all know I ain't working cybersecurity. My knowledge with cybersecurity, I have enough knowledge to like talk about the industry, to talk about blue teamers versus red teamers and purple teamers, and to talk about risk and compliance and cloud security, which kind of obviously overlaps with cloud. I can talk about that stuff, but don't y'all start throwing these acronyms and letters and numbers and all that. Hey, look, I don't know. I don't know. But no, that's beautiful. That's beautiful though. So someone asked, could an 18-year-old do this boot camp?
Well, what I would say is get at least an associate degree or a bachelor's degree. I mean, an 18-year-old can do it. It depends. I mean, I wouldn't say rush into it first. I would say go get a bachelor's, get a basic, at least, because, it's competitive. They will ask for, at least having, do you have, I mean, high school used to be great, but now, I mean, everybody's looking for a college degree to start. So I would say at least get a college degree before getting that. Yeah, that would be my own
Okay,
take
good
on it.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so Jocelyn, so good stuff, Jocelyn. Let us know, Jocelyn. Am I going to be able to get to interview you in the future so you can talk about the same program, talk about your experience? That'd be super cool to do that. All right, so let's get to a few other questions. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, wonderful. All right, y'all. So look, yeah, the program is called Your IT Academy. The founder has been in the tech industry for over 20 years. Someone says, are there other courses except cybersecurity? So the thing is, the course is not cybersecurity. It's so if you could speak about Babalola, what are some of the education or some of the roles that you know about that people can get from the program?
There are a couple of them. You could learn about IT audits. You could learn about being a compliance or a GRC analyst. You could either be, I mean, even risk. I mean, some part of it you could do risk and compliance, and also third party, risk. Doing all those assessments. So you can be a compliance analyst definitely after that program. Learn a lot. I mean, definitely IT audit. That it's a well-rounded program for IT audit too.
So look, I know the person in particular asked for something outside of cybersecurity. So for anyone, so again, we're talking about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is one of the greatest industries in the tech industry to get into. Like arguably, there is nothing better. There are just some things that are probably on the same level, but there's no industry in tech that's better. And that's a very short list of things in tech that are almost on the same level as cybersecurity. That being said, for the few of you that are interested in something else, I would just say if you're on Instagram, comment tech quiz, and then you'll get a DM where it has our tech career quiz. You can take that quiz, and it'll help filter you towards something that's a good fit for you. And it might be cybersecurity. That being said, but it'll help filter you towards the best role for you in the tech industry based on your answers. So that being said, someone says the 3 lines of defense. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Do you know what they're talking
Yes.
about?
Yes. So the 3 lines of defense, definitely you will learn. I mean, the compliance piece of it, and audit is the third. Internal audit is IT audit is the third line, which will provide assurance for a company. Definitely, yes, you will learn those 3 lines of defense. Definitely, that's a very good question. Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I think I just learned something myself. So basically, it's common, or at least it should be common, that cybersecurity teams that they're set up to where there are 3 lines of defenses before a hacker or someone's able to penetrate?
Well, it's more of how things. So the compliance piece of it are the ones that um, the front line are the let's say the control owners, the people that actually do the work that deal with the system. The compliance piece of it, they are the ones that will look at, okay, these are the vulnerabilities. How do we mitigate it? What are the controls we need to build? Then after that controls are built and put in place and the policies are put in place, then the IT audits, which is the third line of defense, are the ones that come in and say, okay, these controls are working the way they should be working, or they're not effective. So that is a way of looking at, that, okay, everything is being covered, at least rounded. We're seeing where we're protecting our assets, and we have a structure for that to look at it. So we have, and usually the IT auditors are very independent because they're coming to test and to provide assurance to see that, okay, what we're doing, the controls that you've put in place, these are actually mitigating the risk, and they're working properly. So an IT auditor cannot be the one, creating the controls itself. So there must be some segregation of duty at that point. So they are the only providing assurance that what you say this will do is doing, or it's not doing it.
Solid.
That's a layman way of explaining that. And
It was. I'm happy you did that because I could understand that. If I could understand, I'm sure everybody else can. All right, that's super good. Hey, look, y'all, we're gonna get to a couple more questions. Then we're gonna wrap up. So make sure y'all drop me y'all's questions because when we wrap up, we wrap up. Thank you, Jocelyn. Jocelyn says, "Okay, I love what you're doing. Appreciate that." Robert Eskridge, what's up, Robert? What's up, bro? I feel like you're somebody I know. Did we serve in the Marine Corps together? Are you that Eskridge? I'm not sure. All right, where we at? Where we at? All right, y'all. So look, I don't see any other questions. So we're about to wrap up. If I don't see any other questions. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all an update for those of y'all that are just now tuning in and missed out. So he talked about his experience transitioning from project management to cybersecurity after doing the cybersecurity program that is called Your IT Academy. Now, the founder of Your IT Academy, she's someone who's been in the tech industry for over 20 years. She has specifically in cybersecurity space. So it's not someone's been in the industry for a couple years. They're all, let me start a boot camp program, whatever. She's been in the industry. She's taught plenty of people before, and then eventually launched her program. And Babalola is one of the results of her program breaking into the industry after he had tried many other ways to get into cybersecurity, and just it wasn't working out. And he was able to do her program, and it helped him out tremendously, as well as other people I'm going to be interviewing in the future as well. They have a free 2-day cybersecurity workshop that is coming up in literally 2 days. Well, technically, it's in a day and a half from now. This is coming up.
Yep.
So make sure y'all take advantage of the free workshop. A lot of y'all be asking for some free stuff. So there you go, some free. But that being said, if you actually want to get in cybersecurity, start off with the workshop. So that way you can really see if it's a good fit for you. But that being said, if you feel confident in the program, definitely, if you want to get in cybersecurity, definitely do the program, because again, they're doing wonders. It's self-paced, but basically you can finish it anywhere between a few weeks to just a couple of months, which is almost unheard of for cybersecurity. And obviously you got to put in the work. You got to take it serious. It's ain't a get rich quick scheme. It's something you definitely need to put the work in, take it very serious. The more work you put in, the better work you put in, the sooner you're able to get a role. And so, yeah, just click the link in the description below for those of y'all, everybody that's asking in the chat about how to do the 2-day workshop. Just click the link in the description for YouTube and LinkedIn. On Instagram, just comment security. Keisha, I could tell you the name, but if you just I see you already commented security, you'll see the name in your DMs. So yeah, y'all. And again, if those of y'all on Instagram, if you don't get the message for if the automation isn't working, just let the team know, and we'll make sure that we get the link over to you to the program. Again, I'm going to be interviewing more of their alumni in the future. We already had somebody else jumping here in the chat, a young woman who says she's been in the program, all of that. So definitely tap in, y'all. Tap in. Let's see if I see any other questions. What's the name of the cybersecurity program? It's in the description down below. You know, I'm gonna stop saying the name because y'all just look at the description. The name's in the description. Click on a link and do the 2 day the free 2 day workshop. Take advantage of the workshop. Cyrus Harbin, appreciate all the boot camp information you share. Hey, appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate that, bro. Elihu. I think I just read your name in the Bible a couple days ago. Elihu. Is it Elihu that I read about? Like a footnote or something in the Bible. Anyway, yeah, shouts out to you. Appreciate you for tuning in and showing all the love. What's some entry level jobs? The program will help you with that. They're not just going to educate you; they'll help direct you towards roles to get, towards what to do in the industry. So the purpose of this is really just for him to tell his story, for him to break down a few things, give some insight. But there's a 2 day workshop in a couple of days. Even during the workshop, that's a question you can ask. You can bring that up during the workshop. So definitely tap in when it comes to that. Yeah. Other than that, y'all, look, I love y'all so much. Fit MBS says, I got the message. It is working. Wonderful, wonderful. Love to see the technology doing what it's supposed to do, especially when you're paying for it. Yeah, it's wonderful. Hey, look, Babalola, man, you've been incredible. Would love to give you the floor for any last thing you want to share with the people before we wrap up.
So I will just want to advise you guys, come for the workshop. I think you'll get a lot from it, and also be ready to put in the work. If you want, I mean, making good pay, you got to put in the work, and it's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's something I think most almost everyone can put it if you put in yourself. I mean, and I understand it's not for everyone, but at least give it a try for yourself if you want to improve, the way of life for you and your family. All right, and I just want to thank you, Cypress. This has been great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, it's great hearing about the program. I'm not gonna lie, you because I'm considering. Last time I said this, I literally switched. I switched industries in tech. Y'all know I started off with tech sales, and then I interviewed someone who was talking about RPA, and I was like, that sounds pretty cool. And I switched over, and that's what I've been doing. But now, because of AI, I do think RPA is probably going to get swallowed up pretty
Mm.
soon because of AI. So now I've been thinking like, okay, what am I going to pivot over to? 'Cause I'm sitting here telling everybody they need to pivot over to something else, and I'm like, what am I doing? I need to pivot too. I was like, let me not be the person telling everybody what to do. Everybody else do it, and I'm the one that end up looking goofy. So I'm actually strongly thinking about us transitioning over to cybersecurity. If I do it, I'm definitely gonna do the program. So I'm gonna interview a couple more alumni because y'all know I'm in this industry. I'm situated with my role, my companies. They treat me good, and on top of that, y'all know I got Texas New Black, so there's a lot going on. So that'll be a huge decision for me to make. But for me, it would be a decision about security. So
Mhm.
that's the beauty of it. So for those of y'all that are even in tech, don't just be comfortable. Make sure you are making moves that give you career security and make sure you are secure and good to go for you and your family. You have to think about you and what makes sense for you. Um, someone said replay for the workshop. Yeah, tap in with them. Click the link and then just message the team to see if there's a replay for the workshop. And they'll be able to answer you. They'll be able to help you out and all of that stuff when you register and offer you a replay. So yeah, oh dope. Also, thank you, Cyrus. What you do, you're the reason I got my cert. Hey, shouts out to you. Much love, much love. Yeah, shouts out to all y'all. I say this. I don't say this enough. I say it often, but not enough. Shouts out to all of you who are here because y'all are investing your most precious resource, which is your time. So thank you all for investing your time into yourselves. Because just like Jay-Z said, y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. You're here with us. You're here investing into something that can transform your life, transform your future, and be a blessing to all of your future generations. So much love to all of y'all. Grace and peace. And also for those of y'all that are in Atlanta or near Atlanta or want to go to Atlanta, we have our tech event this Saturday, the Grown and Techie event. It's an incredible event. Last event, there were several job offers, several people that were hiring at the event. So it was an amazing opportunity. Make sure y'all come to this next one as well. Like I told everybody last time, there was going to be hiring opportunities. But this next event, there won't just be hiring opportunities. This next event, there's going to be some money-making stuff at this next event y'all going to find out about that's really going to transform a lot of your lives for those of y'all that are at the event. So again, those of y'all on Instagram, comment tech event. To get access, for those of you on YouTube and LinkedIn, click the drop down below. Go and find the link at the bottom for the Grown and Techie event and register for the event. It's literally like 20 to 30 bucks for the event. It's not our events last year were literally over $200. So this is something incredibly valuable for y'all to make sure y'all tap into. And again, it will be in Atlanta, Georgia. So click the link to register, to pull up on me. pull up. Hey, look, I love y'all so much. Many blessings to all of y'all. Thank you so much, Babalola, bro. Appreciate you so much, man. Your wealth of knowledge, your story, your testimony, your rawness and realness. Thank you so much, man. And yeah, man. Hopefully I get to. I mean, you're in Atlanta, so
Yeah,
hopefully I see you at one of the events sometime soon.
sure. Thank you so much, Cypress.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed and beautiful night.
You too. Night.